Minister Theresa May has spoken exclusively to DD News, where she said that her decision to make her first bilateral visit outside the European Union to India has hit the mark. She said that India's visa concerns are likely to be met to an extent by the registered traveller scheme she's announced. She also spoke strongly over the issue of cross-border terrorism plaguing India. Listen in. British Prime Minister Theresa May is in India on a 3-day visit, and we have the pleasure of having her with us. Thank you for speaking to DD News. If I could ask you, you decided to come to India first up. It was your first port of call outside the EU. After your engagement with Prime Minister Modi, which has happened today, do you feel that your decision was spot on?
I think it's absolutely right to come to India. It's a sign of the strength of the relationship that we already have between the UK and India. But I've had very positive discussions with Prime Minister Modi today. There have been other positive discussions between ministers taking place. And we see real opportunities for strengthening the bonds between UK and India, strengthening our trade relationship and our working partnership across a whole range of other issues like security and defence as well. I think there are real opportunities for the future which will be to our mutual benefit.
Sounds wonderful. The issue of travel between the two countries of people from the business stream as well as students, that has been one of concern here in India. And you've come up with a new scheme now. Do you think that will go to a certain extent in addressing those issues as far as students and business travelers are concerned?
Well, I recognise that the issues have been raised. What I'm pleased about is we have in the UK a registered traveller scheme for people who travel regularly to the United Kingdom, and India is the first visa country that we will extend this scheme to. That will give real opportunities for those people who are travelling regularly to the UK. I'm also pleased to be able to ask the Indian government, as the first government that has been asked to nominate high-level business people to join what's called our Great Club. This will give them a bespoke arrangement for their travel arrangements, their visa arrangements between India and the UK. But of course what we've been discussing today is across a whole range of areas, and I'm very pleased that in my visit here we're going to see deals worth £1 billion being signed. That's more jobs, that's more trade between the UK and India. I think yet another positive sign of the strong links that we all have.
And there's a working group on trade as well.
There is indeed. As we leave the European Union, which the United Kingdom will be doing, we are looking to develop trade arrangements with countries around the world, and India is a key part of that. We're setting up a working group to look at that arrangement for the future. There's a limit, while we're still members of the EU, to what we can sign up to for a future agreement, but what we have agreed here, what businesses have agreed, what ministers have agreed, is that we will sit down and look what we can do here and now to remove barriers to trade, to increase that possibility for trade between the two countries.
Terrorism again is an issue which is of common concern to the UK as well as India, and India has been raising this issue of cross-border terrorism very strongly across many global forums. What is the position of the United Kingdom on that? Because we have certain concerns about cross-border terrorism which are not at the moment being reflected by your country.
Well, we condemn terrorist attacks, but we want to work with countries around the world to ensure that we're dealing with this challenge of terrorism that we all face across the globe. It is important that we stand up and defend the values of democracy, of freedom, of law and order. These are the values that India and the UK share, that we share with other countries. It's important that we all stand up against terrorism.
Sounds wonderful. Let's hope that your visit goes a long way in meeting all common challenges and also exploring opportunities that can come our way as well as that of the world. Thank you for joining and speaking to DD News.
Thank you.